In intervention, we had Frank Litvak and Neil Eigler early on, and then Frank and Neil taught Raj Makar and Saibal Kar. Raj Makar, largest volume of aortic valve replacement, so-called TAVR, the replacement of the aortic valve not through surgery, but through an incision in the leg, and Saibal with the largest volume of mitral valve repair in the cath lab. Two truly outstanding young men. And in preventive cardiology and women's health, Noelle Berry-Mers, who is now the leading lady in women's health, or at least cardiovascular women's health, in the United States. But research without clinical care is like having wings with no feet. And so we also had a great clinical program, patient care program. And we had, of course, Jack Matloff early on. Jack has passed on. And now Alfredo Trento, a great surgeon. Robert Siegel in imaging. Tom Peter and Billy Mandel in electrophysiology. And a large number of other great cardiologists who are here tonight. And so, when 25 years ago, U.S. News and World Report began to rate cardiology programs around the country, we were rated #1 in Los Angeles, #1 in California, #1 west of the Mississippi, and in the top 10 in the entire United States. Isn't that remarkable? And the wonderful good news for you tonight is that it remains that way under the leadership of Eduardo Marbad, who is the director of our Heart Institute and brings the great promise of stem cell research to Cedars-Sinai. So that's how Jeremy's pile of rocks became a cathedral. Jeremy taught me, and in concept, I then taught Frank and Neil, and Frank and Neil taught Raj and Saibal and Raj are teaching the next generation. A teacher really affects eternity. He never knows where his influence ends. So when I came to Los Angeles 4 decades ago, not in my wildest dreams did I imagine that I would be standing at this podium. Of course, actually, my wildest dreams weren't about standing at a podium like this. But I've been lucky to have a role in the great medical breakthroughs of our time. I believe that I can stand here today and tell you that in this coming decade, heart disease is no longer going to be our #1 killer. Now you may think that's an exaggeration or hyperbole, but it's already happened in Canada. And we are going to bring heart disease down in this next decade. Of course, it all depends on risk factor modification, and that means a prudent diet and exercise, maybe a little bit of red wine. I guess I should share with you my own program. What I do is I run from bar to bar. Well, get to my age, you write a book, and can we put the slide up? Can we put the slide up? Yeah. I knew all the doctors who created the slide of the book. Yeah, there you are. I knew all the doctors who made these great advances. They were mavericks who challenged conventional wisdom. And so I tell my personal stories about them, and also the heartbreaking and heartrending stories of the patients that we cared for. When I was chosen for this award, or named for it, I decided it was time for me to give back. And so I arranged for the book to be delivered here and given to Sheila for this conference. And Sheila can describe what her plan with it is. I do that to say thank you to Sheila and to all of you for embracing this Goya Cup, this Michigan, formerly redheaded Scots-Irishman. You are my mishpucha, my family. And you are also, many of you, my professional children. And we can, for our children, there's only two lasting bequests we can give. One is roots and the other is wings. I got that from Jeremy, and I hope I've passed it on to the doctors in this room. So thank you all, and from all four chambers of my heart, I greatly appreciate it.
You know what? Let's take a dinner break, Dr. Carr. I'm going to take a dinner break, and then we'll come back with the auction. Some special.